Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hey Eric, welcome. Let's chant a little japa. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. If you want to come on, you can chant together here. You can see you there. Here's the link in the comments. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gotta keep you muted there because it doesn't work out with too much singing. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jump on a trampoline. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. A little dog just came by. I'll be right back. I got it. There's a little dog that just came to the door. I gotta check him out. I'll be right there.
Is he just a little white dog?
Yeah, a little white dog. Yeah, he was really cute. It took off. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Gauranga, Nityananda, Jesus Prabhupada, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Jesus Srila Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada, Nityananda, Gauranga, Jesus Prabhupada, Nityananda, Gauranga. Jesus Prabhupada, Nityananda, Gauranga, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare, Hare Krishna. Gauranga. These are all new ones here. Oops. Ready? Here we go. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Come on if you want. Join the party. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Mm-hmm. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. All right, here we go. Mm-hmm. What happened? Where's the song? Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Come on, man. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. I'm trying to download a special song. Okay, let's see. I think it's doing now. Okay. All right, it's coming. Okay. I think. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Okay, so back to the song here. Krishna. Hare, there she is, Janaki. All right. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Yeah.
Anabolic beat.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Radha Govinda, 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 Radhe Govinda, Radhe Govinda, Radhe Radhe Govinda, Radhe Govinda, Radhe Govinda, Radhe Radhe Govinda, Radhe Govinda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Chaitanya Mangal. By Lochan Das Thakur. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Lochan Das Thakur. Refrain. This is somewhere in Chaitanya Mangal. I don't know exactly where. Doesn't say. It's all nectar, though. So, Lord Gauranga is my life and soul. Lord Gauranga is my life and soul. He's everybody's life and soul. You can either have the Lord in his modes of nature as your life and soul.
The sound went out.
Okay, sound is back? Yeah, okay. Hit the wrong button. Okay, so Lord Chaitanya is my life and soul. Yeah. He's everybody's life and soul, whether they know it or not. The Maya is life and soul, the modes of nature for most in the world. They're the unawakened. And for the awakened, the life and soul is a spiritual potency. It's glorious, it's wonderful, it's awesome. That's why the Lord comes here, in these incarnations to show the glory of this spiritual communication, the awakening of our soul. How that's the fulfillment of life is there. Yeah. There's no other reason to be in this world, really. Everything else is nonsense. The only reasonable understanding is the truth, man. The truth is people are an illusion. Their life and soul is the illusion. Neither life and soul are those who are under the illusion also, the blind leading the blind. See, so it's all about waking up. It's such a privilege, such an honor to glorify the truth, man. You know, what's really real. And from experience, man, from that realization. The realization. You zip along in life. Zip along. Otherwise, what you're doing in this world is zip. Or useless. Oops. So the Lord and his associate enjoyed many pastimes in this way. Then dawn came, and the Lord performed his morning duties. On the day after his wedding, the Lord performed his Brahminical duties. All this he did on that day. On the following day, he returned to his home. The narration is spoken in that way. With a happy heart, Lord Gaur returned to his home, where he worshipped his kinsmen with offerings of gold and silver. Lord Gaur said, Lord Gaur sat, Lakshmi Priya sat on the side of his seat, same seat. The ladies surrounded them on four sides. Vallabhacharya's heart was both happy and sad. When they left his house, he blessed the bride and groom. To his son-in-law, he gave dhruva grass, grains, and fragrance. I want to go on to some more pastimes later on. Lord Gauranga's extraordinary pastime manifesting Lord Krishna's form. Lord Gaura, O moon of Brahmins, O Lord, who to free the people from the world of birth and death set various traps to catch the fallen souls. Glory to Lord Gauranga. Glory to Gadadhar and Narahari. Anyone who hears Lord Gauranga's glories attains ecstatic spiritual love. Anyone who hears Lord Gauranga's glories attains ecstatic spiritual love. Please hear the story of another day's wonderful pastimes. To Navadweep, Lord Gaur brought the most precious treasure. Surrounded by his associates to his home, Lord Gaur placed very gentle words on the lotus flower of his mouth. The words he spoke were like flooding rivers of nectar. Bathing in those rivers, the devotees became wild with bliss. As Lord Gaur was enjoying these wonderful, blissful pastimes, a wandering mendicant unexpectedly arrived. This mendicant was named Vanamali. He came with his son. He had been born in a Brahmin family in East Bengal. Seeing Lord Vishwambara surrounded by his devotees, the Brahmana and his son became filled with joy. The Brahmana and the boy could not speak. In a voice choked with ecstasy, the Brahmana said, I am afflicted by poverty. Although I am poor, I always remain pure and upright. I know for certain that Vishwambara is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This I see directly. He is no other. I know for certain that Vishwambara is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This I see directly. He is no other. Now my birth in this world has borne its fruit, for I've seen the fair Lord Vishwambara, who is the treasure house of all transcendental virtues. Who is the treasure house of all transcendental virtues. Hey, Lalita Ganga, welcome. Hey. Now that I gaze at him, I feel my heart filled with cooling pleasure. Ooh, we got somebody else. Oh, we got two Lalita Gangas. Let's put them both up. Oh, that one's not working. Okay. Oops. Something's going on with the okay. So maybe you want to get off again, Lalita, and come back on, because this is not working. So I'm going to take you off here. Try and come back on again. Something's going on with this. Is it coming through okay, Sachi? Okay. Okay, we try this again. There we go. Then I gazed at him. I feel my heart filled with cooling pleasure. Now the horrible flames of my poverty are all extinguished. By tasting nectar food, one is pleased within. By tasting nectar food, one is pleased within. See, nectar food. This is the nectar food, man. See that pleasure, man. This is the whole point of life, is to taste that nectar food, which is the Lord himself. What did Jesus Christ say? I am the bread of life. See? So the pastimes, the word, the name of God in his incarnation is that bread. See? Nectar, food. One is pleased. When we can become pleased, you get purified, you get the contamination off, and then we're naturally pleased hearing about the absolute truth, hearing about Lord Chaitanya and Radha and Krishna, chanting his names, feeling the shelter. It's nothing like it, isn't it? It's perfect. It's home. We found home, and you don't have to be any place. That's why you could be a mendicant or a householder if you found home. Home is this relationship, this exquisite, this fantastic, this ecstatic relationship with God forever, man. That dance. Everything's gravy now, man. It's the most horrible time that's starting to become horrible materially. But look at this, man. Everything's gravy, man. Whoever comes here is going to very easily get liberated. Anyone who believes this, what we're speaking and what we're glorifying, which is very true, you'll be free, set free. Even your duration of physical life will be enhanced, because Krishna is showing us, he's not showing these gurus. He's leading them off into illness. People, they're going to be ill and sick and die from this misdirection. Everybody's being misdirected. Strong delusion in this world now. Okay? But here, the Lord's increasing our life physically and spiritually forever, And so it's all gravy, whether the body goes or not. It's just all, just make more people happy, It's fun, man. It's fun. It's fun to preach. It's fun to glorify God. That's why the Lord and his devotees come. They always want to come. They just want to glorify the Lord on this planet. It's a pastime. It's fun, you know. To give life to people, to speak life into them, because this is the only real life. Look at the pleasure Lolita gets from hearing the truth, man. I want a particle of that pleasure. Please, you bless me with your mercy, man. I want to chant like you. Yeah, so you got to give me your blessing. Since you're my disciple, you have to give me what I want. I want ecstasy. I want to be as ecstatic as you. There you go. Give me your blessings. Yeah. Yeah. This was all about, man. Tasting nectar food, one is pleased within, man. This is nectar food, man. This is the example. This is why people got to see it, man. Otherwise, it's like Krishna said. We read Bhagavad Gita today, the Gitamrita, and Arjuna says, "Well, hey, man, if bhakti is so good as you're saying, as we're saying, why isn't anybody believing in it? It's so great. You're glorifying bhakti like we glorify, right? Why isn't anybody appreciating?" And Krishna says, well, they just don't have faith in it. They think it's a false eulogy. Why? Because they don't see it. It's like, there's an old saying in America, I'm from Missouri, show me. See? Hey, man, don't show me this blah, blah, blah only. Man. Let me see the tears. Let me see the ecstasy. Let me see truth that penetrates into my heart, that takes away my miseries. Let me feel that. Let me feel this encounter. Yeah, well, come follow the process. Get purified. And these promises in the scriptures. See, like the Bible's full of promises in the scriptures, right? Bible says, you're going to get this, you're going to get this. If you become surrendered to this path, you're going to get the blessings of God, and it's going to be this. You're always going to be by living water and all that stuff. Hey, man, Vedas have the same thing, same God, same transcendental Lord. It's just he's explained a little bit more so you get more clarity on what you're getting after, what you're going for. All those blessings are there. You get the bona fide leader, a real spiritual master. Yeah, and the way of transcendental experience opens up. You start to get spiritual experiences. You start to experience the transcendental God beyond the modes of nature, beyond liberation. Yeah. See, all these promises. Your life will be, you get relief from the threefold miseries by chanting the holy name, chanting Gauranga's pastimes and Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. You feel happy, free, ecstatic. Okay? And forever, this goes on forever. Look at us. It's our lifestyle now. It's a lifestyle. You can, if it's your life and soul, how can you live without glorifying the truth? Man, it's life. It's happiness. Yeah. Yeah. See, by tasting nectar food, one is pleased within. This is what people see. That's why Krishna said people don't have faith, because they think it's a false eulogy, because they don't see the truth of it. They need to see the truth of it. They got to see people pleased within. People pleased from within by engaging in bhakti yoga practice. Not bluffers, somebody that's really genuinely pleased by tasting real food. Krishna, the bread of life. The Lord himself is his name. He's the food, man. He says he's the offering, he's the food, he's the butter, he's everything. He's the sacrifice. Everything. The same way I gaze at Lord Gaurachandra, I feel my body is sprinkled with showers of nectar. With merciful eyes, Lord Gora glanced at the two Brahmins. With merciful eyes, there's the glance. See, remember the glance? We talked about that today in the verse. With one glance from the Lord, Maya is activated and gets energy for all the way to the dissolution from one glance. Can you imagine having that glance every day? That's why it's so powerful, that birth and death. When you attract the attention of the Lord by the awakening of bhakti, which is the only way to get more glances in this world, he's going to glance at you. You're going to get empowered by real bhakti, man. And you go on having the glance of the Lord every day, and you're glancing at him, he's glancing at you. You don't think that's going to be an auspicious life? You don't think you're going to become super empowered? He's glancing at you, you're glancing at him. You don't think the whole universe is going to get liberated from that? If one glance can set in motion the modes of nature which is the creation, till a dissolution, just one glance, he doesn't look at it anymore. And then the devotees who have this unalloyed love, indisciplic love, are getting, the Lord is so attractive to that bhakti that awakens in their heart. He's glancing over at you. And you feel it, man. You feel enlivened. What do you think the life is? It's that glance, man. He's looking. He's turning his head, man. Ooh, bhakti babe, a bhakti babe, man. Ooh, another one. See, you ever have your head turned? Sometimes a pretty girl comes along, and you look, and a guy will look, or a pretty guy, the woman will look, and they notice. See, they know, oh, the person's looking at me. See, it's that when you get the glance of the Lord, hey, the Lord's looking at me. You feel it, man. Hey, man, he glanced at me. Oh, wow. You like it, man. But nowadays, here in the world, worldly glance is like, oh, how dare you look at me? Well, if you're good looking or something, then it's, I think we can have a relationship now. It's going to land happily ever after. We're going to be forever happy in this exchanging glances. With merciful eyes, Lord Gora glanced at the two Brahmins. See, mercy comes from that glance, man. You want mercy, you got to get the glance, but you got to have bhakti, man. Hey, that's what this all about here, man. Awakening that bhakti in the heart. That's our job. That's our mission. Can you imagine? We got that mission. Even these gurus, they wouldn't dare say, well, our mission is to awaken pure love of God in your heart. See? So what you hear and what is said is what you get. They never talk about that, do they? They never say, my mission is actually, I'm here to awaken love of God in your heart. Can you imagine? And we're just telling directly, because that's our order, awaken love of God in the hearts of people. We're already doing it. People are getting it. They're getting juiced on, and they're getting the glance of the Lord every day, empowering them, purifying them, liberating them from the cycle of birth and death. So many devotees are already liberated in our Sangha already. All it took was a few glances, and boom, they're gone, finished in Maya. The hard case is just those who keep glancing at they keep glancing themselves back at the Maya. They want the glance of the Lord and say, okay, they're a little tough case. That's all right. I'll keep glancing there. Now that I gaze at him, I feel my heart filled with cooling pleasure. Now the horrible flames of my poverty are extinguished. See? So how do we gaze at him now? People say, oh, the deity, yeah. Well, yeah, the deity is also the word, especially the word. See, this is when we can meditate on that word, see, and feel that transcendental bliss and pleasure, be pleasured inside. This is it, man. That's attraction. That's bhakti. That's bhakti lata bij. That's for the seed from which Krishna grows. The transcendental Krishna grows in you, overcomes all weaknesses of heart. From being stung by glancing at Maya. See, we're all glancing every day at Maya and get very weak. We get stupid, foolish. The leaders become stupid and foolish and do foolish things, become materially attached. And they live a life of trickery, deceit, and deception, and fruitive. See, so there's no auspiciousness for people in this world. Okay? Sadhu Sangha is the most auspicious attainment in this world, in this universe, actually. This, what we're doing here, is most auspicious. It awakens the highest level of truth in people, which is pure love of God. So one by one, people are coming to understanding that they can get there because that's the truth. See, we tell you, and what you hear is what you get. With merciful eyes, the Lord Gaur glanced at the two Brahmins. The two Brahmins then happily sang the glories of Lord Hari. By Lord Gaur's mercy, they attained the treasure of ecstatic spiritual love. See? By Lord Gaur's mercy, they attained the treasure of ecstatic spiritual love. See? So that mercy, how do you know? People are saying, well, we're worshiping Krishna. We're going to get it. Yeah, have you got it? Well, many lifetimes, or what? That's so high, or that's not possible. I have to get through an art and a vritti, and I got to get a little bit of ruchi, and then some ashakti, and then some bhav, and then some brain. That's not possible. I don't believe it. Oh, okay. Yeah. But you got to hear the news, the good news that comes through the real parampara, man. This is straight from Prabhupada's, has his blessings, his approval. Hey man, that's a big thing. This has my approval. You're doing exactly what I want you to do, man. Do more of that. Keep awakening more people. They were awakening there right at that time. That's what he said. Do more of that. Awaken more people. Yeah, okay. It's great. It's easy. Wonderful. Just inform people. Give them information about what is the truth, man. What is Guru Tattva, real Guru Tattva? Give them information. Whoever will listen. What is Maya Tattva? What is the real Maya? Who is under the influence of this Maya? Okay? Give real Rasa Tattva. Show them Rasa. Show them that you have a real relationship with the Lord. Otherwise, they'll eventually think it's a false eulogy and won't believe in this bhakti, even as a Vaishnava. They don't believe, they don't believe in this bhakti. They don't believe it's available. They don't believe how powerful it is. They don't know what it is because they don't listen here. Okay? They think it's a false eulogy, what we're saying, but yet, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh, Krishna, you're so wonderful. Yeah, is he? Do you really know? Are you under the shelter, the spiritual potency, Shuddha Bhakti, love of God? Well, devotees here are. It's our life. Can't you see? We show you every day. Oh, we don't believe that's Bhakti. Yeah, you see, you think it's a false eulogy. Even though you see it, you don't believe in it. Why? Because your gurus don't believe in it. See? It's all who you believe in, man. They're telling you to take shots now. Showing that Krishna's not helping them very well. Can you imagine? You got a guru who can't even protect you physically. They're telling you to take these jabs. for something that has a 99% recovery rate. Can you imagine? An experimental shot, and everybody is completely bewildered. This is how Maya works, man. This is Maya. She's bewildering everybody. The mode of ignorance since 2020 has been overcoming all good sense in most people who believe in these authorities. They're lying, they're cheating, and deceiving. See, that's what Maya does, but now big time. So it's so radically obvious to people that have the spiritual shelter, even a little bit. But look at these gurus in ISKCON. They're believing in this bullshit. What is that saying, world? Here's your chance, man. See, they believe in the world. They believe in worldly people. People are under deception, being deceived. And they want to lead their followers over the cliff too. What's that saying? It's saying they don't have the protection of Krishna, really. It's just a bluff. It's just talk. It's just some what do you call show bottle. The Lord is thinking, I tell you, the Lord is saying, what this big show? I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of the show. I'm tired of the lies, the cheating, the checklists. Not really, it's teaching Prabhupada's what's really in his books, the essence of truth and liberating people like we're doing. See, Lord's protecting us. He gives us the right information. Shows us how his Maya is working. See, it's called Maya Tattva. You got to know this. If a guru with a big PhD doesn't know Maya Tattva, practically how Maya is working through these politicians and through these mainstream media, even people that don't have Krishna are understanding this, and they're not? What's that saying? Big offense, man. Do you think Krishna wants his people that believe in him to be taken over a cliff like that and to be taken away? No. He wants people that are coming to him to have proper leadership. Okay? Under a person who is under him, under his transcendental shelter, because otherwise nobody can protect you very well. Yeah. Here, the spiritual body of people awakened, and it's nurtured and maintained here. Everything. And we know it. Okay? So this is for people who are that Krishna inspires and directs and draws here. And no more, we got to point it out. I got to point out, I got to tell it, man. Hey, who's gonna expose this? Who's gonna expose these persons? They're talking and talking, leading and leading. And people believe, and they're going over the cliff. Anyway, maybe somebody will listen and to good sense. So the bottom line is, if anybody is a Vaishnava or a devotee, you got to come under the shelter of the spiritual potency. You got to taste the bread of life. You got to taste Krishna's name to the point of feeling deeply the pleasure within, to the point of tears. Prabhupada said, if tears aren't coming in your worship, then you're not even cultivating Krishna consciousness yet. This is nectar devotion. You can all read it. Cultivation of Krishna consciousness begins when tears come to the eyes, engaging in devotion. Okay? Because now you're feeling what's real. See, it's putting out, and then again he goes on to say, this begins to put out the fire of material existence. Otherwise, without bhakti, you can't put it out. It's those tears, and people know when you get these tears, they're different. They're not painful. Maybe there's mixed for a while, but later they become so pure and so wonderful. That's Vrindavan, man. You look at the people, they look totally miserable, but they're totally inside, experience a happiness better than the demigods. And their misery is better than their happiness of the heavenly planets. The misery, who can understand Vrindavan? That's why you got to see it. You got to be taught these things. You got to see a devotee in that kind of mood where you don't know if they're suffering or they're in exquisite bliss. But then because, you get the reports. Oh yeah, this was really wonderful. I just love, this crying, laughing, all that stuff. This madness is great. So you got to see a devotee that they can still drive a car. They're not mad, like mad in the world. People are mad. Hey, this madness is fantastic, man. You got to see this madness is the madness that God demonstrates when he comes here. That's why you got to see it again. That's a revival, is seeing that madness again. Then you start to, oh wow, that's what that book is. How come I didn't see that before? How come I didn't see that? And I read it so many times. See, you got to meet the living devotee. Okay? And then they bring back to your remembrance. So you remember these things truly, like as they are, like, oh wow, that's it, man. Because I see, whoa, this sadhu sangha here, devotees they're manifestations of that grace that was here 500 years ago. They're eating this transcendental food, this transcendental bread of life. They're being nourished by, you can see the smiles and the moods of their worship, the mode of their worship. See, this is how you become intelligent. You got to hear intelligent thoughts, intelligent conceptions. You got to basically hear the book as it is, because I'm just telling you what it is in there. And then you look and say, oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it always made sense. But when you're contaminated by listening to people that are inexperienced and they're not self-realized, it hides the truth. See, the devotees expose the truth. That's what it's all about, exposing Krishna. See? So that Krishna now is in you. You're not just in him and unaware of who he really is. And then you're only looking at his Maya, and then the modes are in you. No, Krishna, his transcendental potency, got to be in you so you can worship him properly. That's the proper worship. By the spiritual love awakened, ecstasy. The Brahmana's son joyfully danced. In this moment, the size of a single sesame seed. The Brahmana and his son joyfully danced. In a moment, the size of a single sesame seed, the ropes that bound them to the world of birth and death were now cut. Lord Gaura Mahaprabhu is an ocean of mercy. No one else is a greater friend of the poor and the fallen. Okay? He's the Lord. He gave pure devotional love of God to people in this world. That's why he's a great friend of the fallen. See, and he empowers his representative, and through him or her, he gives this bhakti to others. See, this is the process, man. It's always been the process. But you got to be are you an authorized flute? Is he playing you, man? With his transcendental potency? Or is it just a bluff? Is it just a show? Okay? So this is what's coming to light, man. We're here to show what's real, what's eternal. Who's eternal? Where is that eternal word of life? Okay? And those who are not qualified, they show also that they're not. And the others are led to destruction. Hey, what are we coming to Krishna for, man? Don't we want Vrindavan? Well, you have to have a representative Vrindavan, real one. They got to be there. It's such a show. The whole world is so blind. Vaishnavas are so blind. They build samadhis for people who haven't realized Krishna. All these like ISKCON gurus and stuff, they haven't realized Krishna really. And they build samadhis for them. how it mixes everything up, how it really sets an example. No, samadhi is a devotee who is realized is in samadhi, man. But that's a rare thing. Now they get 1,000 gurus and build 1,000 samadhis. See, they think it's all the same. Nobody knows what are the qualities of a person that has realized Krishna, realized God. What is love of God? They don't know anything practically because nobody knows. They build samadhis for people that are false acharyas and false spiritual. They're not really deliverers. Samadhi means samadhi. The person is in a transcendental samadhi, transcendental ecstatic worship of God. That's samadhi, man. Or if you're not there, what are you building samadhis for people like that are not like that? See, nobody knows what real knowledge is. So people go and they go to these samadhis and give homage to mundane persons who have not made it yet. Can you imagine? What good is that? That's called idolatry, man. You're worshiping idols. You're idling your time. Doesn't do anything. Okay? People don't idle their time. They spend 25 to 40 years or 50 years in Krishna consciousness. And then they come here, and then in like a month or a day or a week, they make such rapid progress. See, potency's here. See, potency here. What you couldn't do in 25 years, you do in 1 day or 1 week here. 40 years, 1 day, 1 week here. Can you imagine how powerful it is? And this is the truth, man. Time for people to hear it. Yeah. On another day, Vishwambara, the king of dancers, danced in the midst of Sankirtan. At that time, the two Brahmins came again. Lord Gaura is an ocean of mercy. No one is as greater friend of the poor and the fallen. On another day, Lord Vishwambara, the king of dancers. That's why, our greatest friend is somebody who could lead us to that relationship. I mean, really do it. It's like, when you want to get married, you're going to get married, right? You come to Krishna, basically, whether you know it or not, you want to marry Krishna, right? That's what it's all about, to join with the Lord. So if you want to get married, you got to have a priest, right? And then consummate the marriage. Well, more so with the Lord. You need a real priest that represents, that can join you. They're the joiner. They join you in this mystic marriage, this transcendental marriage forever. What do you think Jesus is talking about? Lord Chaitanya and his devotees, the disciplic line's all about is you need the priest, the one who joins you with the Lord, and that's their best friend, man. If you can't do it, that person is like an enemy still. They can't help you because you come to get Krishna and they go, oh, Gurudev, give me mercy. And they can't give you that mercy of that joining you with Krishna forever. Well, we prove here we're joining so many people with Krishna forever. You don't see Krishna leaving Lalita Ganga, Johan, every day. And others, Govinda, who else? Well, Christina. I mean, flowering bhakti, man, where it's coming out of their eyes, where you can see this is called the manifestation of the fruit. That's what when I see that, I want to comment on it. And everybody else is going in that direction too, quickly. See, it's time the truth will set you free. Anybody who believes this preaching, which is very true, it works. It works like a charm. You believe in this preaching and you just come, and it makes more sense than anything you heard from any of those PhDs out there. And this is just truth, man. We're not talking about, hey, offenses. Offense is what's fencing you off from this bhakti. And many of those gurus are doing it. They're keeping you away from this bhakti. Is there anybody in those groups can hear what I'm talking about? That I'm not trying to hurt anybody, I'm trying to help people. They're trying to hurt you. They don't know better. They're stupid. They're foolish. They're telling you to take these shots. They're not getting the proper understanding. They're imposters. They're not real. They're not real eyes. Their eyes are off, man. They're telling you to do what not to do. They're being bewildered by the world and worldly persons. I mean, this is the example now. It's no time to mess around. So if there's Krishna in your heart, if you're meant to be drawn to the truth, you will. If not, you'll go off the cliff and believe those. You'll be misled in that direction. So we got to put the call out. Like Jesus said, I have sheep in many different folds. So there are people there that belong here, but they're just there by default. There's nobody out there preaching this, making a place for them here. Where they can achieve this marriage with Krishna forever. That's available now. That's available here in the Sangha and nowhere else that I've seen. You know. It's all a big show in this Maya, man. Even up all the way into religion. Big show. Big play. It's all play. It's like children playing. That's why ultimately you gotta abandon religion and be in the truth, man. See, this is it. You're just in the truth. It's our protection. It's truth. It's good. Real eyes. We see properly. So. No one is a greater friend of the poor and the fallen. How is he that friend? Yeah. People are poor and fallen, and if their friend is somebody who gives them something materially, right? Usually. Oh, he's my friend, he gave me some food. But Lord Chaitanya was more than that. He was the poor and fallen is everybody. That's whether they're blind gurus, blind leaders, and blind followers. He's their friend too. He wants to help everybody. He's and that's why he sends his representatives so that we can become connected to that true friend. And you see how merciful he is and how true he is in understanding the path and be clear. You get clear about what the heck's going on in this world. Yeah. So our real friend is whoever joins us quickly to that. Have that eternal experience of the true friend of everybody. Yeah. The Brahmana. So, this is the time where people really are going to realize how important Guru is, the real Guru, the deliverer. At these times is when you really get it. When you see the others fallen by the wayside, showing their colors because they just don't have it. They can't give shelter, and they're proving it because this is the time of the test. This is testing all of us. You either have the shelter or you don't. And do you want it or not? Otherwise, the Lord's He's taking people off the planet. You notice? Yeah. At that time, the two Brahmanas came again, watching. The boy became filled with wonder. Where his fair form once was, Lord Gauranga now manifested a dark form. His hips were decorated with yellow cloth. In his hands was a flute. The peacock feather in his crown fluttered in the breeze. Gazing at his form, the devotees began to sing. Yeah, probably sing. So what did Lord Chaitanya come here for? He came because people started to forget about Krishna. They thought it was a false eulogy. They stopped chanting Krishna's name. It was not very popular. Maybe in Jagannath Puri, where they had the officials, Brahmins are just doing what they do, like a ritual, because it's in their family and they carry it on, and they also make money, they're supported and all, stuff. But basically, Krishna was lost. See, because the feeling was lost. So the Lord came to revive that relationship with the living entity, the soul, to the Supreme Soul. Yeah, but he had to show it. He had to show what it's like to worship Krishna, in truth and in feeling. See, the feeling awakens the truth. So that's why Lord Chaitanya appeared, and this here and now is the appearance of devotees, real devotees. They just facilitate the appearance of the true Lord. See, so because if you don't know that true Lord, you don't come to do it, then how can you go back to the spiritual world? You don't know who that Lord is. So the devotees come here. They manifest here to teach you, the Lord is this ecstatic love. That's piece of Radha. You need that in order to realize the beauty of Krishna. How wonderful Krishna is. Realize that Krishna is your real friend. Otherwise, you don't know. People don't know. See, we're here to revive that again. See, practically, 2021. Hey, man, the real Krishna is this ecstatic devotion. Like there was, you've forgotten. See, your gurus are not reminding you of that. They don't know that themselves, so how can they remind you of that? They don't know the glories of ecstatic devotion. They're at best like Devananda Pandit. He didn't know the glories of ecstatic devotion. Same thing. They're not anybody even close to him. He was a perfect Brahmin, man, and he didn't know the glories of ecstatic devotion. So the Lord chastised him like we're chastising many people now also. With the what? The truth. He said, Devananda Pandit, you're puffed up because even though you're acting very humble, you're still puffed up. You don't know what is the essence of all truth, man. And you're sitting there preaching Bhagavatam, talk, and you never glorify pure devotion. You don't know what pure devotion is, so why is it surprising you don't glorify it? You don't know its glories in your own life and how wonderful it is to be saved and how others can be saved. The Lord gives you that information when you're saved by following the real path, and then you give that to others. Isn't that what we're doing? Without pulling punches, just telling you, hey, man, what is your gurus and teachers and leaders glorifying? Do they know the value of this pure love of God? Can you see that value in their lives? How it gives them real knowledge, real understanding. See, standing under, what are we standing under here? See, what is overshadowing us? What is influencing our life? That's what people need to know. See, we're understanding, standing under truth, the highest truth, reality, spontaneous love of God. See, clear as it is, conclusive, confidential truth. Standing under that. See, therefore, where's religion? No, that's the real religion for this age. Is standing under the truth. See? Having the shelter of the Lord's spiritual potency. We're standing under that here. You guys, you can stand under that too. It's like a cloud of rain, man, every day. Just come stand under it. Do it for 30 days regularly. See what happens. Okay? Stand under like we are. We're standing under the cloud every day, Sadhu Sangha creates it's like seeding that cloud and then rain comes. Like these demons are doing here. They're seeding the clouds to make more rain, too much rain. They want to make misery on people. Can you imagine these tornadoes? They're generating all the demons. They want. Now we're living in a time. It's not enough to be punished by the demigods. We're punished by the demons. That's what you get by believing in the influence of this age of Kali. You got to find where the influence of Kali is nullified. The influence of Kali is nullified in our Sangha, man. We'll prove it more and more every day. This is a cloud of the truth here, a cloud of Krishna's protection and mercy. Okay. All around here, people are falling under the influence. Can't you see? Look at them. They're wearing their mask, double masked up, in fear, in panic, all because they're not standing under the truth, standing under the truth of ecstatic, spontaneous devotion, which is here in the temples here. You get darshan of that just coming here and seeing people in ecstatic union with the Lord, Krishna. You get insight, you get to see who Krishna is that's not in this world. You heard Bhagavad Gita today, right? Bhagavad Gita, it's Krishna says, I'm not here. This is my unmanifested form. I just glanced at it and started it all, and then I don't look over here anymore. Therefore, people don't know who I am because I'm not here. Everybody's in me, but I'm not in them. You're here. I'm telling you guys, we're the town criers here. Crying out, hey, the Lord is here. He's in people here. Hey, the real Lord, the true Lord is Shuddha Bhakti, love, pure love of God. That's the Lord's true presence. He's glancing over here every day. Anybody interested in that glance? That's where spiritual life is. Spiritual power is. Clarity is, understanding is, real understanding. See, otherwise it's Bhagavad Gita, man. Any devotees read Bhagavad Gita enough to understand what we're talking about here? That Krishna says, hey man, the whole universe is pervaded with a single fragment of my glory? Single fragment. And I'm not even here. I'm here, but not here. You're unaware of me. I'm not in you. Therefore, you're not aware of me. You're in me. You're sustained by me, but I'm not in you. Well, what is this? The Lord's in everybody. No, he said he's not in you, man. He's not in you. See? Because if he's in you, then you know it. If he's in you, you get a spiritual experience that's so different than anything material. See? So he awakens in you. Hey, okay? So the thing, if people, if anybody watching this that's new, you're seeing a whole group of people where the Lord is actually in them, and then you get an insight into who Krishna is. You begin to learn now for the first time who Krishna is. You got to see Krishna manifesting in the temples. You know, in the Bhagavatam, it talks about people who are doing sacrifices. The demigods, they would do a nice sacrifice ceremony thing. And it was so powerful that Narayan would appear in that sacrifice. And people would see, wow, Narayan came, look at this. Well, hey, man, this is even more powerful here. Our sacrifice every day. The Lord is manifesting here every day. And people are seeing that, wow, this is the Lord. It's tangible. Man, look at this ecstatic love. That's the Lord. That's the Lord's body. It's subtle. Ecstatic devotion. You know, wonderful talks about the truth. You know, they're like nectar. Nectar to the heart, the ears, the mind. That's all here. Every day. Hey, you want the Lord in you, or you just want to be like Bhagavad Gita, even as a Vaishnava, still like that. Unless ecstatic love is awakened, or you're at least looking at it, seeing it, and becoming attracted, then you're just in Krishna, but he's not in you. See, the real Krishna, who he really is bhakti. That's Krishna being in you. Is you got that? If you do, sometimes you'll cry, you'll laugh, you'll choke up. Okay? Otherwise, he's not in you yet. Might as well he's dormant somewhere in there, but it's like he's thinking, it's like, I'm not really in you because you don't feel me, man. I want my devotees to wake up and feel my transcendental presence. Go ahead there, Lilita.
Yeah, but it's only when can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you good.
It's only when you are in him. When he is in you, that you're aware that you are in him. Before you're not aware that you are in him either.
Yes, both ways. That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, because see, Krishna says everything is resting in me. No. Everything rests in me. See, but everything doesn't rest in me. So okay, the living entities are not resting in me. See, therefore I'm not in them. See, because we need to learn how to rest in the Lord's transcendental manifestation. See, that's what you get in Sadhu Sangha. You learn how to find rest in the Lord's transcendental manifestation, transcendental potency. See, people don't find rest in the world because they're resting in the modes, and there's no rest here. See, rest means they meditate on it, they think about it, they're trying to find rest because it's our nature to find rest. Oh, I find balance. I'm looking for balance. I need the male, the female. See, for balance. I need children for balance, to be balanced, to be complete. I need money to be complete and fulfilled. See, but there's never any rest there. It just makes you more agitated, more attached. See, so there's no real rest in this material universe. And that's the lesson. See? So when we find rest in Krishna's name and his pastimes and qualities, now that's real rest. See, that's what the gopis and the residents of Vrindavan, they're resting in Krishna. They find their rest is there. Even though it makes them very restless with bhakti, which is real rest anyway. It's wonderful to be restless with all this energy going through you. That's true rest. See, people are restless in the modes. They're always fruitive and always doing stuff and running around and like that. Well, being in Krishna, you also kind of get movement. You get excited. You get thrilled. It's like so that's. But it's spiritual and it's wonderful and it's eternal. What does this say? Let's see. So Eric says, some people think God's love is in everyone, and they really worship cities and astral projection and remote viewing and psychic powers and telepathy and all kinds of magic, but they do not have devotional love, Shuddha Bhakti, and they are confused and bewildered by who and is. Yeah, you see, it's like they're interested in the opulences of God. See, the material opulence is mystic powers too. It's like so people are. Yeah, they're still looking for mystic opulences. Let me get some light in here. Okay, where's the cord? Got so many cords here. All right. There we go. Yeah, so people need to know what this, instead of worshiping the creation. See, the Lord creates all this stuff. The secret is to worship the Creator, to meditate on the Creator, who is the source of all creation. See, that's why he says, nobody knows me. There are even saints and sages, they're meditating sometimes on mystic power, the yogis. See, they're meditating on what the Lord has created instead of the Creator. See, so that's all material. So the secret is to meditate on the Creator. See, and that's God. And then you find these spiritual opulences. See, you find the spiritual opulence that are eternal. And these other things are chunk change. He may give mystic opulences to devotees, but they're not concerned with those. What's really important is the Lord himself, just being close to God, this is kind of thing. And it's a ras comes from that, a rasa dance. See, this rasa dance is very important. See, the meeting of the soul and the supreme soul causes like a dance. Could be a song, could be a kirtan, could be a lecture. Yeah, could be chanting in ecstasy. It causes this, this dance, a rasa dance. Okay? So that's what devotees become concerned with, and then they drop all this desire for these mystic things, powers and yogic powers. Krishna taught Uddhava this whole system in the 11th canto, and then he said, but don't follow this mystic yoga thing. Don't do it. It's false ego. You'll just develop false ego. Yeah, people in sannyas now in Kali Yuga, I see why not to take sannyas, because people are developed big false egos. Oh, I'm important. Look at me. I see it all the time. It's this, and they feigned humility usually. I mean, there's some on it, there's a lot of good devotees in this world. I mean, but the thing is, it's not good enough. You need to get transcendental shelter now. That's why we're just like the Lord's revealing everything. He's revealing this, and he's revealing what's not transcendental and it fallen by the wayside. Everything is coming up to light. See, even the demons, all this stuff was going on in the background. They've been preparing, but now it's coming out into the open. And so those who are got real eyes, they can see, oh, this is the Lord's Maya. It's really mode of ignorance, really big time. They're teaching you things that are to follow things that are very bad for you or as good for you. That's the mode of ignorance. See? When that starts happening, then the mode of ignorance is becoming prominent. It's winning over goodness. See, and the good people, they're going against it. A lot of people putting their lives on the line to fight this, what's going on. This is why these are good people, man. They're putting their jobs, they're putting their life and their reputations, everything on the line. and to fight this. See, and but you know, or and you know, this is everybody is kind of taking their place and their role in it. But what I'm seeing, it's just not strong enough. You need to become a real devotee. You need the Lord's intimate closeness because He's the controller of His all Maya. He liberates demigods, He liberates demons. He can do anything. If anybody will take shelter, like anybody will come to the real representative, transcendental representative of the Lord, they can be exonerated of everything. You could be a big demon and doing the horrible thing. If you come here and sincerely change sides, you can be exonerated from everything. Yeah, there's a lot of problems now, but a lot of good solutions too. This is the best solution. Yeah. Anyway, this was fun. Yeah.
Yes, it was very. I just can't. I don't have anything to say. I can just listen.
Yeah, hey, that's a Mars Prikshit got liberated just by listening. He didn't do much talking. He just asked a few questions. Yeah. I mean, this is topics that need to be heard. This is real truth, man. Yeah, and we never stop talking about it because it's endless. It's wonderful. It's the only thing real in this world. Spontaneous devotion and devotees and devotional activities and ecstasy, chanting and relishing the name of God. Oh, this is the only real thing going on. The Lord brought the best activities. He did it Himself, and those who become attracted to do what He did are very fortunate. You don't have to be a sannyas. He only took sannyas. He didn't need to take sannyas. He only did it for these student community guys because they don't respect anybody unless they have a dhoti and neck beads, right? That's where they have a problem here. Well, we're in a Nityananda's camp. Yeah. So the Lord, even His mother said, "Why are you taking sannyas? You don't need it. We're so ecstatic, having chanting, having you around, you're always in ecstasy. We just everything's fine. Why mess it? Why fix something that's not broke?" She couldn't understand because she's just attached, to her son. He said, "No, I have to do this for the world because I came here to liberate everybody. I want to even get these students who don't understand. See, they don't understand what real bhakti is. So I have to take this real humble position and liberate them. Bring them closer." And that's why Prabhupada and Bhakti Siddhanta and Bhakti Vinod, externally, they taught external rules and regulations. They wanted to bring people closer. See, so they acted like strict followers of it externally. They didn't have to do that. Bhakti Vinod said in his Sri Krishna Samhita, he said the person has devotion, real devotion. It's their prerogative whether they follow strictly rules and regulations and all these things. Yeah. You got God, man. What do you need it more than that? You got the Lord purifying you. It's one little glance you get every day. One little glance just knocks off, zillions of sins or whatever is in, that you've been looking at. Because we're in this world. It's like, being in a polluted place. So this ecstatic devotion keeps us clean. More so. That's why people, if you don't have this, people trying to, purify themselves, and it's really great, but this is the best way. This is the best path, actually. It's available, it's on the shelf now, being offered. Whoever has ears, let them hear. Yeah. What time is it over there in Turkey?
5 o'clock in the morning. I'm up from 3. I wanted to go live and
5
then
o'clock.
I saw that you were live.
Oh yeah, yeah. Go ahead. I'm going to go off now. I talked enough. I'm actually my
Oh,
voice is like
me-
finished.
I don't know if I will go now because I'm tired
What?
again.
Oh, you're tired. Oh, too bad. I should have stopped
No,
earlier.
no, I can no, Guru Maharaj. I have
Yeah.
chances enough.
Okay.
I go
All
another
right. Well, let's
side.
see what
No,
happens.
I love
Yeah.
this.
Let's see. Maybe you'll get some energy again.
Ecstasy can give
Okay.
you such a relax.
Yeah. All right. So we'll see you guys later. I'll go catch a few Z's and see you tomorrow.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Haribo.
Krishna,
Christine,
Hare
4 o'clock in the Netherlands. All right.